You're watching Just the News. I'm Amita Balachandra. We're going to start off with the Russia-Ukraine crisis because there have been a lot of developments, especially from India. India has now removed curbs on the number of flights to and from Ukraine amid rising tensions with Russia. Now, the Ministry of Civil Aviation in a statement has said, and I quote, any number of flights as well as charter flights can operate. Indian Airlines have been informed to mount the flights due to increase in demand, end quote. Now, on Tuesday, if you remember, the Indian embassy in Kiev had advised Indian citizens, especially students, to temporarily leave Ukraine in view of the current situation. In the meantime, the Ministry of External Affairs today has said that India has not taken any decision on evacuation from Ukraine, but the focus right now remains on Indian citizens, especially students. Spokesperson Arindam Bakshi has said, and I quote, our embassy continues to function normally and provide services for Indian nationals in Ukraine, end quote. India yesterday had set up control rooms and a 24/7 helpline as well. Now, according to a BBC report, it has quoted a senior White House official as saying that Russia's claim that it is moving troops away from Ukraine's border is false. Now, the US official told the BBC that Russia could launch a false pretext to invade Ukraine at any moment. Now, the BBC has also reported that US Secretary of Defense has said that if there is a war, then Russia will bear the responsibility for the suffering and sacrifice that ensues. Meanwhile, according to Reuters, British Foreign Secretary has accused Russia today of seeking to fabricate a pretext to invade Ukraine after Moscow expressed concerns about escalating military activity in eastern part of Ukraine. Russia has said that it is moving troops away from the Ukrainian border after the completion of military exercises. It had said that earlier, which the US and the UK have said that those claims are false. Meanwhile, NATO Secretary General has defended the right of nations such as Ukraine to seek membership of the alliance, which Russia is opposed against. According to the BBC, in a press conference, NATO's Secretary General has said, and I quote, we cannot accept a return to the age of spheres of influence where big powers bully, intimidate, or dictate to others. NATO has to respond when we see aggressive actions by Russia. End quote. Moving on to another big story, which is the hijab controversy in the state of Karnataka. It is day 5 of the hearing in the Karnataka High Court. The Karnataka High Court adjourned the hearing to tomorrow. It's going to continue tomorrow as well. According to NDTV, the petitioners representing the Muslim girls today told Karnataka High Court that banning hijab amounts to banning Quran. To which the Chief Justice asked, and I quote, can you show it where in Quran it is stated? To which the lawyer, Mr. Kulkarni, replied, and I quote, right now I cannot, but much has been said about it. Banning hijab tantamounts to banning Quran, end quote. Yesterday, if you remember, the petitioners had told the High Court that the government targeting only Muslim women for their headscarves is an example of hostile discrimination. According to the Indian Express, the Karnataka Education Minister has held a meeting with Muslim legislators as of today in an effort to get girls to return to classrooms by adhering to the High Court interim order, which basically stated that hijab or any other religious clothing will not be allowed in classrooms. There have been reports subsequently that many people are not attending classes. According to a report by the TOI, some students of Andhra Loyola College today were denied entry into the premises of the college for wearing hijab. However, students said that they have been going to college in a burqa or hijab since the first year. The students also took a photo with the burqa for the college ID card. Muslim elders, according to this report, reached the college and held talks with the management, post which this issue was resolved in this particular college. Moving on to COVID news right now, Karnataka has announced that passengers from Goa and Kerala will no longer have to carry the mandatory RT-PCR negative report. They, however, will have to present their full vaccination certificates. Meanwhile, Uttarakhand government has eased restrictions on Wednesday. It lifted night curfew. Gyms, shopping malls, cinema halls, spas, salons, theaters, auditoriums, etc., will be allowed to open with full capacity as well. Also, the news, according to a study by Centre de Sciences Humaines, India's COVID deaths is 6 times more than the official count. Now, the study estimates that the COVID death toll in the country till early November 2021 was much higher than the official count. Now, the center has responded to these claims. First of all, it's denied these claims. And in a statement, it has said, and I quote, these reports are fallacious and completely inaccurate. They are not based on facts and are speculative in nature. India has a robust system for reporting deaths, including COVID deaths, that is compiled regularly at different levels. End quote. On to politics right now. Days after Punjab's Chief Minister Channi called upon Punjabis to not let, and I quote, this is what he said, bhaiyas from UP, Bihar, and Delhi enter the state. He said that his statement has now been twisted. He was addressing a road show that was taken out by Priyanka Gandhi in favor of a party candidate. Now, Mr. Channi posted a video on Twitter subsequently, and he has said, and I quote, my brothers and sisters from UP and Bihar have contributed towards building Punjab. We have been together for generations and I love and respect all of them like my own family members, end quote. Now, taking a dig at this, Prime Minister Modi, while addressing an election rally in Punjab today, said, and I quote, the entire country heard what Punjab Chief Minister said yesterday, and his Delhi family, his Malik, was clapping. Whom did they insult by that statement? There will not be any village where our brothers and sisters from Uttar Pradesh and Bihar are not toiling. End quote. Moving on to environment news right now. Research by University of Queensland has identified over 45,000 at-risk marine species are hugely impacted by global warming and pollution. Now, University of Queensland researchers and global marine experts reviewed marine biology literature and categorized a wide range of threats and also found that mollusks, corals are facing a diverse range of threats in the ocean. The study also says that starfish, sea snails, and flying fish are vulnerable to climate change related stressors in the ocean as well. On to sports news right now. India has won against West Indies by 6 wickets in the first T20I in Kolkata on Wednesday and has now taken a lead of 1-0. Rohit Sharma led by 40 runs and Ishan Kishan added another 35. The second T20I will be played on the 18th of February. Moving on to international, and this is also good news that's coming in from Kuwait. Kuwait's constitutional court overturned a law that is that criminalized imitation of the opposite sex and was used to prosecute transgender people. Now, the court has said that it violated Kuwaitis' right to personal freedom. Amnesty International, in the meantime, called this development a major breakthrough for transgender rights in the region. And another positive and significant news coming in from India, the Union Transport Ministry has announced that from February next year, children between the ages of 9 months and 4 years riding pillion on two-wheelers will have to wear a helmet and a safety harness attached to the rider. Now, the speed limit for two-wheelers with children on them will have to be a maximum of 40 kilometers per hour. Now, that's significant because 3/4 of all vehicles on roads are scooters or motorcycles. That brings us to the end of this bulletin. Thank you so much for watching. Good night.